Hi and welcome to the final part 3 of my paper experimentation process. This video now I have the handmade paper which has dried, and I decided I wanted to make a collage with it. There was a few things that have come to me when I was making, using the paper. This one with the rabbit's fur, it broke up an awful lot. It was just falling apart, the glitter was coming off everywhere, it was very messy. I liked how the thickness of the paper and the rabbit fur did bind it together a bit more than the other two, so that in the experiment worked well, but it was just crumbling. You couldn't really cut something out properly in this. I just had to make do with some scissors. And that was hard as well, trying to cut it out. I was just trying to make a silhouette of a rabbit here using it, but it was quite interesting to use. It did feel very different, especially with the rabbit hair involved. So here's me just cutting some of the rest out, trying to build up the rabbit silhouette. As you can see, all the glitter, there was quite a lot on the table, and it literally did go absolutely everywhere. I then got some black paper and glued all this part down so it formed the rabbit. As you can see with the fur in the paper though, it did give a good effect of the fur on the rabbit, so it did work well in that sense, even though it was a bit glittery, of a glittery rabbit. But if you look beyond that and look at the fur and the pulp, it has actually worked out well. Perhaps if you did it finer in, like, again, a blending machine, it might have worked out better. The next one, the most successful I think, was this paper, was the one with the leaves in. It still broke up a little bit, but not as much. And here's the foil one that I did. This one, you can see there's quite a lot of thin areas in the paper when I lift it up there. It was still quite usable, more so than the fur paper, and I was trying to get the speckles of gold to use that in the paper to create the eyes and the nose there. I also found a bit of the leaves fell out of the paper, so I glued them onto the ears and made sure it was all cut down. This is the final piece of paper, which had the lavender, my first attempt. It did work out really well, but as you can notice, none of the paper turned out purple, which is the colour that I put in the water, so it didn't really take to the colour, surprisingly. I think it must have just evaporated while the paper was drying. So, but it has got slight yellow tinge to it, which is a bit bizarre, but I just thought I'd use it all to try and combine to make some kind of collage, just to play about with it, have a play with it and just see how it works. I do think I need to experiment further with these papers. I think I've got a long way to go yet before I can actually use the paper. I need to work out how to get it more binded, obviously make it finer. Maybe I'll purchase a blender or see if I could borrow some ones to give it a go. But there's my finished rabbit. And then finally, I just wanted to use some of the scraps up to kind of make an abstract. I don't usually do abstract, but I just felt that these papers could do well with just placing them in like a positive way. So here I am, just using snippets of different ones, pulling away at the papers just to create an image.